Hello my beautiful friends, I'm Jeanette, your wellness coach, and today in this video I'm going to share with you how to cope with identity loss during chemo. Now what does that mean, identity loss? Well, things shift a lot when you're going through chemo, when you're going through cancer. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, it was a hard enough shift for me to get used to the fact that my breasts were going to look different. In my case, it was a bilateral mastectomy. And so just as I had gotten used to dealing with that and to adjusting to my new normal, I was told I had to have chemotherapy. And so that became another new shift of having to go through and change my homeostasis. And what is homeostasis? That is where we get used to things in a certain way. It's kind of like if you were to move to another state, and when you move there and you go to a new home, a new state, and you kind of wake up in that new home the first time and you're like, oh my God, where am I? And it's starting to adjust and acclimate to where you are in your new place. And that's kind of the way it is in anything in life. Thankfully, we are creatures of adaptation and we do adapt to our surroundings. Sometimes it takes a while and sometimes it's really hard to change that homeostasis, especially when you've gotten used to it for so long. In my case, like I said, breast cancer diagnosis, bilateral mastectomy. This was a big change. This was a big shift. But just as I'm getting used to dealing with that, I was told, you need to have chemotherapy because one of the tumors they removed was aggressive. And they said, just as a preventative, you need to have 6 rounds of chemotherapy. And that was really hard for me to process. So if you're going through chemo, understand, I know you don't need to understand, but you're going to feel so many things, and everything you feel is so normal. I started out just when I was told with chemo, I was mad, I was sad. I mean, I've gone through so many things, and just acknowledge where you're at, feel what you're feeling, and embrace what you're feeling. Because that is part of the process of being able to cope with what's next. The more that you can embrace it, the more you're able to move forward. So when I had that diagnosis of chemo, or when I had the treatment of chemo, losing my hair became a very big deal to me. And yes, physically it is just hair, but emotionally it was so much more. It was about what that hair represented to me, what it meant to me, what it meant not having it. It meant, in my mind, it meant that I was going to be sickly, that I was going to, not look the same, that people were going to know that I was sick. And so going through that was something that was tough for me to swallow. And when I ended up shaving my head 2 weeks after my first treatment, it was hard for me to look and see my bald head. No matter what anybody told me, they said I looked great, it makes your eyes pop, all these wonderful things, because there are a lot of people out there that say things and you're like, really, why would you say that? But then there are those people that tell you things that try to help you to feel better, that really want you to build you up. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says or anybody else thinks, it's what you think and what you believe. And so part of that coping process is to watch your thoughts and where you're going, and to want to move in a direction that will help build you up, that will continue to build you up even when you're feeling down. Chemo comes with a lot of different changes, a lot of different shifts in our homeostasis. But understand this, everything you're going through with chemo is temporary. So hold on to that. The other part is to make sure that you do things to lift yourself up. So one of the things I did was, like I said, I shaved my head. And just by doing that helped me to feel like I had a little bit of control in a place where I felt like so much was out of control. And by doing that, it helped me to cope by looking in the mirror, by starting to kind of process what I saw when I looked in the mirror with my bald head, what I was able to do with it. I wore the scarves, I got the wigs, but I didn't really wear them very often because they weren't comfortable, and I'm a kind of comfortable kind of girl. I like sweats and t-shirts and just being comfortable. I wore the wigs occasionally, special occasions, but I wore the scarves. I wore what was best for me. I did what comforted me, and I found things that would make me feel better where I was at and to help me to move forward. Always listen to your body. Always listen to where, your thoughts are going. Your thoughts are so powerful. Bring them to a place that will comfort you, to lift you up, whatever that looks like to you. If you want to get dressed up one night, get a fancy wig on, put some makeup on, go out and have fun, then do it. If you're just kind of not feeling it, you just want to be in comfy clothes, be there. Wherever you're at, that's how it helps you to cope with what's changing, your identity change, your shift. Because even though this changes, and it's always changing, whether you're going through chemo or just the journey of life, it's always changing. To be able to cope with it is to understand what's coming on, what thoughts are coming behind everything that you're going through. For me, like I said, my thought behind chemo and seeing my bald head was, oh my God, now people are going to know that I'm going through something and that my body is struggling, and are they going to think I'm sick? Am I going to look sick? Watch where those thoughts go, and that's how you begin to cope and move forward, is by doing things that make you feel good. That is your best friend. That is your biggest strength you have. I know it may sound simple, and it really is, but it's not simple when you're feeling all these extra emotions. Feel those emotions, embrace what you're feeling, and then do what makes you feel good and supported, no matter what that looks like. If that looks like going out and doing something fun, or if that looks like just hanging out. Do what you want to feel supported. Anyways, you guys, I hope that helps. I know it was a simple tip, but those tips are the ones that really help. What you're going through is challenging. Acknowledge that. Your homeostasis has been shifted. You will get it back, and you will adjust to a new homeostasis. This is a temporary stop. I love you guys. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Put your comment in the comment below, ways that you have found to help cope with going through the chemo identity loss, and subscribe to my channel. If you are somebody who is on that breast cancer journey and would like some extra support, I am a wellness coach, and I do specialize in helping breast cancer warriors go from surviving to thriving. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Love and positive energy to you always. Bye. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my video. If you are someone who is on that breast cancer journey and would like to set up a free wellness consultation call with me, I'll put that link below. If you would like a little extra tips and tricks, I'll put these videos here, check them out, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.